Hey, hey. Hi, guys. All right. So, Taurus, welcome back. If you did not watch Act 1, you will definitely want to do that before you jump into this, because otherwise it won't make a lick of sense. I'm doing this in honor of kind of the fact that we're in front of like a screen backdrop, like a stage screen backdrop. And so I wanted to go ahead and do it like we're telling a theatrical stage production. So we're going to enter Act 2 now. And we left on a bit of a cliffhanger in Act 1. All we could see is that although there was huge trouble between two characters, there is promise of fabulous things ahead for both of them. And we don't know if it's together or apart. So let's take a look. Well, we've got the Ace of Wands, and this is a fatal justice, is the playbill that someone holds in their hand. This is as if an Ace of Wands is like really getting revved up again, having all kinds of excitement and passion that come back into one's life after an ending. Right now, I'm inclined to say that perhaps each character was meant to go a different direction, Taurus. We'll see. How about Taurus? What's happening in the Taurus's world as we open up? Because we saw the sun was going to come out and the Taurus had a very wonderful turn of energy, turn of events in their life. We have the Messenger of Wind, which is the Page of Swords, Queen of Swords, and we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so first off, we have somebody who has been watching the Taurus, knowing that the Taurus has really good, strong boundaries up, and seeing that Taurus had been pretty melancholy for a while. Someone has watched the Taurus during the time frame that they saw the Taurus not really available to date or meet anybody new. They had still been obviously detaching. Someone has been observing this Taurus, paying attention to them, noticing. Tell me about this person who's been noticing the Taurus, because I'm inclined to say right now that it's a new person. Queen of Reigns, it could be a water sign, could be somebody who, and if you remember in part 1, the individual that the Taurus said, "You're selfish, I'm not dealing with you anymore." It was a King of Cups that was in the reverse, and it was like very ice cold, very frozen kind of person, not very emotional, very selfish. And it's like whoever this is who is eyeballing the Taurus now is a completely different energy, still water energy, still emotional, but there's somebody who's in touch with their divine feminine energy. There's somebody that is in the upright. They're very loving. I almost feel, let's take a look at that. Who is this person in this water energy that seems to be noticing, there's somebody who's been hurt too. The Three of Swords, there's someone who can completely, they recognize like a kindred spirit of a broken heart, because they've had one as well. So this person, whoever they are, who has watched and observed the Taurus, and I feel like has almost fallen in love with the Taurus, is because they recognize their own scars in the Taurus, and they go, "I know exactly where you are, baby. You've been hurt. You've been through the ringer. I know, because I know that look. I know that face." This person has been quietly observing the Taurus, giving them the space that they needed to heal. So what happens with these two? Two of Wands. So both people have to choose to like interact. At some point, the Taurus may be a little on the fence, like, who is this person who's trying to get my attention? Yes, I find them attractive. I don't know that I want to move forward with anybody right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Messenger of Ashes, but there's a spark here, and the Hierophant. The Taurus can't deny it. I don't think that the Taurus goes back to that person from their past at all. I think that the Sun card that we saw in Act 1, where it's like, wow, Taurus is actually going on to something that's going to be bright and fulfilling, and their sun will shine again, and they're going to be very surprised that their heart is willing to love again. We even saw the Nine of Wands for the Taurus, almost like they're going to be really happy again. Not just happy, they're going to totally be fulfilled, because they're going to realize the universe was helping to guide me toward the right person, someone that they have a slow awakening in falling for this new person. It's a little bit of like, wow, I haven't been attracted to somebody in a long time. And wow, this person is attracted to me. I feel like Taurus, if this is a Taurus who had been for so long with somebody that wasn't very supportive, somebody that was very selfish, and then they walk away from that person, and then they still sit in like a lot of like mental thought processes. I kind of think the Taurus forgets what it feels like to be wooed, to be flirted with, to be, told that they're sexy. And now that's happening with this new person. That is so exciting. That's so beautiful that the Taurus ends up With someone who, I like the fact that this person is kind of falling for the Taurus and giving the Taurus all the time and the space that they need to, so that they don't bombard the Taurus, because they know the Taurus is healing and they remember what that was like. Now, in the meantime, let's go over to the person that the Taurus walked away from, because we saw that they're going to wind up growing, and we saw them going into some kind of 10 of Cups. Well, we actually have the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is actually, and we see the distant shore. I'm a little inclined right now, because this is a card of confusion. It's a card of fantasy. I'm not so sure that that person ends up with a 10 of Cups. I'm not so sure that that King of Cups in the reverse. We got the 5 of Swords. This was their issue all along with the Taurus. They were always still selfish. They were always still, they would have little flickers of moments where they wouldn't be selfish, and then they go right back into it. But then we saw them acting like, oh, I've grown so much, I'm going to have all this happiness. But I'm wondering if they don't just repeat that cycle with the next person all over again. We got a 3 of Wands in the reverse. We got the High Priestess in the reverse. And we've got the Magician in the reverse. This person deceives themselves into thinking that, you know what? Oh, it's fine that me and Taurus are done with each other, because you know what? I'm going to have a 10 of Cups. I'm going to have this new person. I don't know who they are yet, but it's going to be just like mad love. It's going to be so great. It's going to be blah, blah, blah. And I think because of that 7 of Cups, I think they really believe that they should be allowed to have that, but they keep sabotaging it. I feel like this person has not learned, will not perhaps learn over and over again. They keep waiting for somebody to come in to make them happy without realizing they're so selfish. They're deceiving themselves. They are not self-aware. Part of them is starting to become a little bit more aware that it's them pretending that there's not any problem with the way they behave, but tremendous selfishness pushes people away. I mean, that's the whole thing. If you're in a connection, you have to give, you have to care about that person. And in Act 1, what we saw is a very selfish person who, for little doses of time, can put on a facade like, I care about people. And then it's like, no, it's actually all about me. And that's what the Taurus was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's, you don't really make changes. You just keep reverting back to the same selfish actions. No, I'm out. I'm done. And that was really hard for them to walk away from it, because it's like, why would somebody not do the simple thing and just care about others? Well, in this storyline, this person is, we left them in Act 1 like they were growing and everything, but it was the 7 of Pentacles card that was all about growth. Time was passing, but it was a story of Jack and the Beanstalk, which was kind of like, you know, a story of fantasy also, right? You plant the magic beans and then they grow, but then it takes you up there and there's a, you know, a giant up there. And, you know, in the end, it was kind of like, you know, he has to chop down the tree or the beanstalk anyway. I know, I kind of feel as if this person is a bit of a fantasist who doesn't want to admit that they sabotage things because they're all about themselves. This is someone who can't manifest because they're still pretty, like, they've got this bloated idea of themselves and what they're entitled to. And so they always wait for their ships to come in, but it doesn't look like it ever happens. I don't see this person getting another romance off the ground because they can never be wrong. They always have to be right. They always will set things up so that they can be in charge of everything. So I don't see them, as much as they say that I'm going to have all this happiness, I'm having my 10 of Cups, it's going to be even better than it was with Taurus. And then nothing comes of it in this. And I'm so sorry. That's not to say that this person couldn't grow, right? It's just in this storyline, we see them on a repeat cycle of the same mistakes without admitting that they're the ones making those same mistakes again and again. So if they stay like that, they're not going to be able to have success elsewhere. They're going to just keep fantasizing about it. So that's what we got. I know it's not a real happy story for that character. Please do be mindful. These are simply fictional stories. As an audience member, I don't read for genders. You can flip-flop roles. You can substitute any gender you wish. Just know that. And at the end of the day, it is all fiction. It is only intended for entertainment. Maybe there's some interesting food for thought, but at the end of the day, only you decide what your life shall be. And I hope that you always have fun while you're here. Thank you so much for giving this a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Bye, guys.